Yay.
Okay. Oh, sorry about that.
We had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I mean, of course, right? Third time's the charm. Hi.
Well-
Yeah, my laptop decided to not happen. So we had to switch computers at the last minute. So
Okay.
thankfully we were using Rapunzel's laptop. So
Yep.
okay. Hi. Whoops.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. Okay, so I'm gonna close this because we're done here.
Goodbye, computer.
Goodbye, computer. I'll never trust you again. Cool, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining us for part 3.
Part 3.
Yay.
Woo! Woohoo! Hi,
Woohoo.
welcome back. Part 3.
Part 3. Part 3. Part 3.
Should
Part three.
we have like a little light or is that?
It actually looks fine either way. It's still very cold.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. May decided it's going to be winter part 2.
Yep.
So.
Okay. Oof. There we are. Okay, well, welcome. When last we left off. When last we left off, Rapunzel had another woman in her room.
Yes, holding the bracelet that we silently promised never to take off.
Yes, in a very complicated knot. So
Part
all right.
3.
So yes. Oh, it starts with me. Okay, so yeah. So we are reading from the Lost Lagoon, Rapunzel and the Lost Lagoon. That's me. That's Rapunzel. And we are on part 3, chapter 31, and we are on page 233. So, without further ado, let's get right to business. I dropped the book outside her door. The mystery was hers now. I was out. I went back to my chambers and started to pack again. Everyone was so busy with the festival, I doubted anyone would notice my absence. I'd be out on the road for a fortnight at least. It'd be much quicker on horseback, but I couldn't take a horse. Too obvious. I'd bring what I could carry. I opened my weapons closet. The door creaked a little, as if the furniture knew I was leaving. I ran my hand over the closet's wooden edges, admiring the collection of weapons and tools that I'd amassed over the years and taken care of so diligently. I hated to leave all this behind. Each object had a story, like the day my father had given me his old sword when I was only 8 years old. I remembered how heavy it had been at the time, how my wrist had ached from keeping it upright. Now I could wield it as though it were a feather. And then there was the shot put ball, the object that had brought Rapunzel and me together. Why had Raps ignored my advice and allowed Dahlia into her room without anyone there to protect her? Why had she given her the bracelet? I guess Raps trusted anyone, so it was meaningless. Friends are stupid. That's why I never had any. Just then, Owl landed at my window. Owl was the exception. We had an understanding. We knew each other so well without ever having to speak. We didn't need matching bracelets. I looked down at the bracelet around my wrist and thought for a moment about cutting it loose. Owl nudged me with his beak. Okay, fine. I'll keep it on for now. I might need to trade it later. Owl shook his head.
Wow.
What? Now you're sentimental? How about you just sit and watch, okay? I turned back to my weapons closet and chose my sword. Then I selected 2 knives, one for my belt and one for my boot. I tied my satchel around my waist and grabbed my cloak and lantern. I needed some coins, and I'd have to get some food from the kitchen, though Owl and I could hunt if necessary. I set out when darkness blanketed the kingdom. Owl hooted, whoo, signaling that oh, that was a scene change, too.
Oh.
Owl hooted, signaling that the coast was clear. I used a vine to reach a tree branch and then shimmied down the trunk. Owl swooped low. I darted beyond the castle wall, silent as a cat. I'd memorized my maps by this point and planned to head south. I'd barely walked through the first field, however, when my foot caught on a root and I twisted my ankle. I nearly cried out in pain. I sucked air through my teeth and gently tried to roll my ankle. It was tender, but not broken. How could I start out my journey this way? How was I ever going to make it? I hadn't even considered that I would be injured, not with the training I'd done. What a stupid mistake.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
Hey. Owls circled in the indigo night, then came back, settling on a nearby tree. I took a linen cloth from my satchel and wrapped it tightly around my foot. Owl looked at me as if to say this was a bad omen. There's no way I'm turning back now, I said, though my ankle throbbed and indignation burned inside me. Owl blinked. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. Smooth enough that I could make it on my hands and knees. I didn't have a choice. I'd have to spend the night there. If I could hobble through the gulch, then I'd be able to get a good night's sleep and soak my foot to reduce the swelling. Owl and I could fish in the morning if we needed to, filling ourselves before we took off for a long day of walking. It was, after all, the only place I knew where no one else would be, at least not in the middle of the night. I had just reached the mossy part of the path when a hand grabbed me by my arm and yanked me upright. My sword was stolen within a second. "Take me to the lagoon," a rough voice said. I struggled, kicking my attacker with my good foot until he buckled behind me. He kept a firm grip on my arm, and as I pulled away, I felt my bracelet snap. I heard Owl's distinctive call as he descended. Bracelet snapped! Ah, beads everywhere.
Oh, no.
Pearls, diamonds everywhere. My jewels. Sparkles everywhere. Like when my dad tried to make the first one, and it did explode.
Yeah, actually, it did. We all could have died.
It was like, we were like, wow! It was a great time. It was just memories.
All right.
Ooh.
Chapter 32, page 237. Several hours had passed, and the sky darkened. And as the sky darkened, my mind clouded with worry and doubt. Had I done the right thing by letting her walk away?
No.
Should I have fought harder for her to stay? Sounds of the festival drifted up to my room, but I couldn't join in on the festivities with such a heavy heart. At last, there was a knock on the door. Was it Cass? I wondered. Had she changed her mind? I flew to the door, but it was Eugene, all dressed up for the ball and holding a bouquet of flowers. Eugene, not the reception I was hoping for, he said. You're not ready? Eugene, I said, and I let myself fall into his arms. He smelled like the citrus shaving soap the royal barbers liked to use on what he called his sensitive complexion.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but at the moment, the familiar lime scent filled me with comfort as he held me even tighter. What happened, Rapunzel? He asked. Why are you crying? Come, sit down. Whatever it is, we can fix it together. I doubt you can fix this, Dahlia said. It's girl trouble. Well, hi there, Eugene said, noticing Dahlia, who was sketching a picture of Pascal. I'm Eugene. Who are you? I'm Dahlia, she said, placing her pencil down for a moment. I've heard so many nice things about you. You have? Eugene asked. The townspeople all talk about how kind and gallant you are, Dahlia said. Oh, really? That's nice, Eugene said. Dahlia nodded, and then he remembered himself. But wait, what's going on here? Dahlia is my new friend. She's helping me with an art project, I explained, as I dabbed my eyes. She came up to my room because we needed some space to work, and all the public areas of the castle were crowded because of the festival. You know you really can't have any strangers in your room, right? Eugene said. I know, but I made my own decision. I saw no harm. I trusted her. That counts for a lot, Eugene said, though I'm not sure how we'll get her out of here. The castle is guards, making sure that no townspeople or enemies disguised as townspeople found their way into the private places of the castle. We'll have to wait, I said. Don't worry about me, Dahlia said. I'm fine staying here as long as you need me to. As your new lady in waiting, I'm totally available to you as an artist and a friend. Do you want to discuss color schemes or... Not right now, Dahlia, I said. Hold on. New lady in waiting, Eugene asked. What happened to Miss Delightful? Who? Dahlia asked. He means Cassandra, I explained. Did you finally give her the axe? Eugene asked. What axe? I said. She has plenty of axes of her own. It's an expression, Dahlia said. He means, did you ask her not to be your lady in waiting anymore? No, I said. What happened? Eugene asked. I took a deep breath, closed my eyes, and thought. The last thing about Cass, it was a disaster for her. Rapunzel, what's going on? Is Cass in danger? Eugene asked. She might be, I said. After all, she'd made a rash decision. Cass is gone. This was an emergency. And anyway, it wasn't going to take long for everyone else to figure out that she was missing. What do you mean, Eugene asked, taking my hands in his. She was really angry and she stormed off. I'm not here to judge, Dahlia said, but Cassandra is pretty high-strung. Darling, are you in there? My mother called from the other side of the door. I have the captain of the guard with me. We need to talk to you. Under the bed, Eugene whispered to Dahlia. She smiled, pleased to be breaking the rules, in the tradition of artists, I guess, and then slunk under my bed. I'm here, I said. My mother, father, and the captain of the guard entered. Hi, Eugene. You look nice, Rapunzel. What is going on, dear? Mom asked. What do you mean? I asked, hoping my mother wouldn't see straight through me, which of course she did. There's a problem, Mom said, getting down to business. We're looking for information, darling. Mom sat next to me and placed her hands over mine. Cassandra never showed up to the bake-off. She's missing. I know, I said. Why didn't you tell me? She wanted me to let her go, I said. Mom's eyes darkened with concern. A bubble rose in my throat. She said she just wasn't happy here. I didn't want her to feel trapped. Not happy here? Mom asked, shaking her head as she squeezed my hand. But I thought you two were getting along so beautifully. We were, I said. I don't mean to appear insensitive, Your Highness, the captain said, but I need to gather as much information as possible as quickly as I can. So, where did she go? And when did she leave? I don't know any of that, I told them. The last time I saw her was this afternoon, and she told me that if I wanted her to be happy, I shouldn't follow her. Why didn't you come get me? Dad asked. Rapunzel, we depend on you to be a responsible member of the royal family. We've lost valuable time. I'm sorry, I said, tears spilling down my cheeks. I want Cass to find her destiny. I'll see you both outside, Mom said, signaling to my father and the captain. And you too, Eugene. I need some alone time with my daughter. After they left the room, Mom put an arm around me. You could tell me anything, sweetheart. Whatever happened, I won't say a word. Why was Cass unhappy?
I won't say a word. You can tell me whatever you want.
She didn't want to be my lady-in-waiting, Mom. She wanted to be in the guard. And it's really hard to keep someone like her from what she wants, deep in her heart. That's true, Mom said. You're a very wise soul. Wisdom, you know, is the most important quality for a queen to possess because it affects everything she does and every life she touches. But I'm a terrible friend. I buried my face against my mom's shoulder.
Yeah.
Why would you say that, Rapunzel? I told Eugene something I shouldn't have, I said. Something that Cassandra asked me to keep private. I see, Mom said with a thoughtful nod. Everyone makes mistakes. You're a good friend. I've seen it in the way you care for everyone in this castle. I've seen it in the way you've treated Cassandra, joining her in her interests, I presume. Wait, you knew about that? I asked. It shows in your flower arrangements, Mom said, pointing to my last attempt of flower decor. This doesn't exactly look like the result of careful study. A slight grin let me know she wasn't chiding me. But flower arrangements are the least of our worries right now, Rapunzel. We need to find Cassandra. It's dangerous for a solo traveler. You should know that better than anyone. What do you mean dangerous, I asked, my stomach tightening. How dangerous? Bandits, thieves, ruffians, Mom said. I hate to say this, but I'd even feel better if you two were together. You are our best hope for finding her, Rapunzel. You must have some idea where she went, some clue. I don't, I said. She was so determined and so angry. When we're really upset, it's difficult to remember the important details. Why don't you write it down in your diary? Sometimes, when the mind relaxes, the answers come. Your father and the captain are rushing you, but I believe with a little space, he might be able to give us the information we need to find her. In the meantime, we'll deploy some of our forces to begin the search. And what about the ball? This is more important. I can always say that you're ill. Monsieur Lafleur is leading everyone in a most unconventional dance, but everyone seems to be enjoying it. I nodded. She kissed my forehead and stood up as I reached for my diary. Oh, and there was an old book in the hallway, Mom said. She left for a moment and then returned with it. I wondered if it was yours, since you are such a, oh, there's that word again, voracious reader. That was our vocab word of the day.
Voracious reader, everyone. It's like the fourth time we've said that in this book.
Someone must have left it for you. Or did you drop it by accident? In the chaos, I'd forgotten about the book Cass had been holding. Yes, I said, taking it from her. Cass brought it for me. The Lost Languages, Insights to the Sapporian Myths and Legends, Mom asked. We love history, I said, holding it to my chest. You girls fascinate me, Mom said. Once Mom was out of the room, Dahlia crawled out from under the bed. I hadn't even remembered she was there. Did you overhear all of that? I asked, wincing. She nodded. I kind of couldn't help it. Maybe I should have followed her, I said to Dahlia, gazing out the window as though I might actually catch a sight of Cassandra. It was darker than usual, and the trees cast odd shadows. Do you think I did the right thing? You have to listen to your heart. She sighed, pulling her ringlets behind her ears. You have to trust your intuition. Judging yourself is the worst thing you can do as an artist and a person. Her words had a ring of truth, but I still couldn't believe them. Not while Cass was still in danger. Owl appeared at the window. I opened it, and did I just miss him?
Ooh.
I don't know if I just missed a page. Nope.
Ooh.
Right, well, he's here.
Owl is here, everyone.
Owl appeared at the window. I opened it, and he settled on the sill.
Spack.
You have an owl and a lizard? Dolly asked. No, he's Cassandra's, I said, holding out my hand to pet him. He placed Cassandra's friendship bracelet in my hand. It was broken. Had she ripped it off in anger? As if he could read my mind, Owl hooted once, communicating distress rather than anger.
Ooh.
I gripped my bracelet and brought it to the light. It was covered with the emerald moss that I had only ever seen in one place, the path to the lagoon. Cassandra was on her way there, and she was in danger. I felt it in my gut. And just as Dahlia had said, I knew I had to trust my intuition for what to do next. Dahlia, I said, turning to face her. She was setting up her easel and paints. If I'm going to be here for a while, I might as well get some work done, right? She asked. Dahlia, sometimes I think the world is our own canvas and we're the bushes, right? Sure, she said. Here's the situation. I'm going to go after my friend, but I need to go alone. My mother may come and check on me later, and I'm wondering if you might sleep in my bed with the covers over you, I asked. Like performance art, she asked. Exactly, I said. That won't be a problem, Dahlia said. Perfect, I said, turning down my sheets. Can you start right now? Do-do-do-do-do.
Da-da-da-da.
Scene change. Can you start right now? Do-do-do-do-do.
Da-da-da-da.
Scene change. I stuck out my window.
Owl smacked against the window. Ooh.
I stuck out of my room and quietly knocked on Eugene's door. I'm going to find her, I said when he answered the door. What? He asked. Rapunzel, it's late and it's dark. I can't let you go alone. Eugene, I trusted you when I told you the truth about how I left the kingdom the night my hair grew back. Now I need you to trust me that I need you to trust me that I know what I'm doing. I won't be wandering aimlessly. I know where to find her. Where? I can't tell you that, I said. I just need you to trust me. Rapunzel, your safety, he started. Eugene. I took him by the shoulders and looked deep into his eyes. My whole life I've been told to stay inside for my safety. But someone needs me. Sometimes the most dangerous thing to do is not take action. I need to help my friend. I trust you, he said. Thank you. I could feel in my bones that he believed me. Dahlia is in my bed, pretending to be me. I know that if my mother sees me sleeping, she won't disturb me. I'll do my best to distract them. Thank you for telling me the truth. Always, I said. Now, go find your friend. She needs you, he said, and embraced me. Keep this with you. He kissed me sweetly, and my heart swelled with love and courage.
What? Sorry, this is an unbiased reading. Also, her friend, am I chopped liver? Like, come on, go find your friend. Okay.
Yeah,
Eugene, you never actually, you forgot my name. Okay, cool.
Go find that girl, you know.
Go find that girl, that girl that, remember when we fought for you?
That woman.
Oh, yeah, that woman. Yeah. I don't know her name.
Knowing that the book about Sapporia might offer some clue, I tucked it inside my satchel. Then I wrapped my hair around my window ledge and lowered myself to the ground. The earth was cold and rough beneath my bare feet. I looked up at the sky. The full moon was hidden in shadow, except for a faint line around its perimeter. Something flew low and close by my head. I stifled a shriek and ducked before I realized it was actually Owl.
Woo!
He hooted and arched upward. Owl, what are you trying to tell me? I whispered. What does that mean? Does that mean I should go or not? He soared into the distance. Thinking that he wouldn't leave me if it was dangerous, I made a run for it, sliding behind a tree as soon as I passed the guard station. My heart was beating loudly and rapidly. The cold sweat prickled the back of my neck. The only other times I've done this, I had been with Cass. Now I was going to have to get there on my own. I searched the sky for guidance, but Owl was long gone. I'm on my way, Cass, I said, hoping my words might somehow reach her. You're not alone. I hiked up my skirt and, staying close to the shadows, ran through the trees. I was used to running barefoot, and I felt a sense of purpose so strong that I moved with the speed and grace of a fox. I reached the path in what felt like record time. Now I just needed to get to the other side before anything happened to my friend.
Notice that this is like the first time in the book where they're really hyping up the my friend. Because Lordy McGee knows if we think anything differently. Can you grab my little cat?
Ah, yes.
We need our friends over here.
I also need Kleenex.
I know, I'm getting like, whew.
I got like sniffles.
Yeah, I got like the chills. Your best friend, you know. I was attacked by my past self. Don't do I was attacked by Hey, I have friends now. What I really want is a little owl, but I feel like maybe there was one at the beginning. No, am I nuts? Did I dream that? Was there ever an owl plushie? Because come on. Here we go. I have my friends. Ooh. Hang on. No? Oh, okay. It doesn't even.
Perfect.
Yeah?
That's how you wear it.
That's how it works. This really isn't meant for me. It doesn't stay on my head.
It doesn't stay on my head either.
Oh. I am Princess of Genovia. Friedborg?
Yeah.
Friedborg is the lost princess.
Good.
Ow! Okay, yeah, it's rejecting me. I'm sorry. Here you go. Have your.
I don't want it.
You don't want it?
Yeah, give it to Hippo.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
Princess of Corona. Look. All right, everyone, we found the lost princess.
Yay!
Thank you. I think it suits me. I'll just take the crown. Thanks. Anyway, chapter 33 of the Lost Lagoon. We are just about at the end, folks.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite scene is coming up. Hello to everyone just joining us.
Mm-hmm.
We are on page 250.
My tea got cold.
You should heat it up.
It's okay.
That's why I was like chugging mine. Okay. First, also, I hope everyone can hear okay. This is a new laptop, so hopefully everyone can hear okay, but I'm going to just guess that yes. Okay, cool. All right. Chapter 33, Cassandra. Marco, I said, twisting my body to get a glimpse of my attacker's face. Pleasure to see you again, he said as he dug his knee into my back. Ow. I bit back a cry of pain. Ow. Owl had disappeared. Where's my sword? I asked. Consider it disposed of, he said, applying more pressure to my spine. Ow. So you can like act this out. There we go. Elsa can be Marco right now. Okay. Applying more pressure to my spine. Keep in mind, I could do a lot more damage to a wisp of a girl like yourself.
Says Elsa.
But then you wouldn't be much use, would you? Wow, jerk. Rapunzel isn't with me, I said. I have no money. Doesn't Xavier pay you? What do you think I am, a common thief? It's not money I'm after, you stupid girl. It's the lagoon, he said.
Wow.
I know. Cass is getting bullied. He grabbed the knife from my belt and pressed it to my neck. Ah. What lagoon? I asked. It was a good thing he thought I was stupid. He'd somehow found the pathway, but he wasn't expecting the gulch, the wall of rock that hid the lagoon.
Oh my god, I'm making a mess.
Rapunzel. What had Raps and I missed there? What exactly was he after? Don't play ignorant with me, Marco said. Oh, you mean the lagoon in the poem? I said. How could I get the knife in my boot? If my ankle hadn't been wounded, I might have had the chance of kicking him off me, but with my injury, my only weapon was my wit. The one that I've spent my entire life studying. You and the princess have been there, and I know it, he said. I stole the original book from your satchel. Then I heard you discussing it during your matchmaking session. You know, when Cass and Raps got engaged. A realization came to me. He must have been the lute player hidden in the shadows. And when I saw Hertztersohn's spearhead in your possession, he continued, I finally had the proof I needed. When I went back to Rapunzel's room to search for more clues, I realized you were missing the key piece of information. I assume Xavier passed along the book to you? Huh? I asked, playing dumb. Of course he did, or you wouldn't be here, he said. What book? Don't lie to me, girl, Marco said, pressing the knife to my neck. Ooh, his breath. This is a mean man. We do not like mean men here. No. His breath smelled like old onions and dirty socks. Ew. I even bookmarked the page for you to ensure you'd come tonight. Imagine, 2 silly little girls did most of the hard work for me with the discovery and translation of that poem. I have no idea what you're talking about, I said. Please, I know we're close. I'll be the most powerful man in Corona once I tap into the power of the lagoon. Forget the guard. I'll be the new king. This is my destiny, he hissed. Now, don't use that word with me. Get off my friend, came a voice from above. Who could that be?
Pascal. He speaks.
Get off my friend! Pascal jumps into the air with a cape. Marco and I looked up. Oh, it was Rapunzel, her dress torn at the elbows. What happened? Raps, what'd you do? Dress torn at the elbows?
She goes from A to B by herself one time. Her dress is like falling off.
A to B?
A to B. Point A to point B.
Yep. The dress is just gone. It was Rapunzel, her dress torn at the elbows. She was high in a tree, balanced, and striking a fencer's aggressive lunge. Yep. She swung around a branch by her hair, and in a moment that took my breath away, kicked Marco in the head. He tumbled backwards.
She kicked him in the head?
Yeah, you just kick men in the head for me. It takes my breath away. He's tumbled backward. Yeah, he died. As he tried to reorient himself, I grabbed my knife from his hand. Touching his skin made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Repugnant imp, Marco said. What is it you want, Marco? Rapunzel asked. There was no trace of the peppy princess here. Rapunzel was in full warrior mode. All right. That's what I call a game phase. He thinks the lagoon is real, I said to her, improvising. He thinks you and I know where it is. We do, Rapunzel said. Her grin was wide but smirking. I'd never seen her smirk before. See how sweet your little friend is, Marco said, sneering at me. Such a good princess, an obedient girl. Go away. Ew. Hold on. I thought I was a repugnant imp, Raps said, hands on her hips, eyebrows arched. No. You misunderstood. That's her. You, my pet, are an angelic sprite, so willing to cooperate. A fine young lady indeed. Must be that good breeding of yours. Tell dear Marco all about the lagoon. Nah. What was she up to? Rapunzel? I started. We are at the lagoon, Rapunzel said, spinning around in the green moss. La la la. Marco's lip turned up in a semi-snarl. Watch as I swim! Rapunzel completely committed to the fantasy. When on a winter eve we met, our truth was but a glimmer, she said, prancing on the moss. She stroked the boulders and added, the moon shone extra bright, fortune far beneath did shimmer. Then, as if seeing a vision, she made a visor with her hand and shouted, Here was Corona built, amidst ebbing fear and flowing doubt. When voices clash and metal strikes, the light within tamps out. We locked eyes, and I stifled a giggle. She, however, stayed in character as she knelt by a patch of plain daisies. See, here are the glimmering jewels. I just love how the moonlight makes them sparkle. What nonsense is this? Marco asked. Are you quite mad? I know, Rapunzel said, refusing to answer his question. You're looking for the ancient power, the one we were asking Xavier about. She smiled as though she were positively bursting with joy. That's harder to find, of course, but I'll show you if you ask politely. Please, Marco said, totally confused. That and a coin will get you a cup of coffee, Rap said with a grin. I had to laugh aloud. I just couldn't keep it in. She remembered the expression I'd taught her so many months ago. Pretty please, Marco said. Raps gestured for more, with a candied plum on top. I do love candied plums, Rapunzel said. She rustled in the bush and then said, Here, she handed him a rock. This is nothing but a rock, Marco said. What fanciful delusions am I partaking in? Are you having a fit?
Yep, lost it.
Watch out for the golden fish, I said as a few fireflies buzzed past. Golden fish, how lucky! I'll catch them for our supper, Rapunzel said, opening her palms and following the bright, buzzing creatures. She cupped her hands, just missing one. Whoops! Above, Owl cruised in joyful circles. Woo, woo. The lagoon you've been speaking to Xavier about is just in your little heads, Marco asked. Inspired by the poem imagined by us, Rapunzel declared, slinging an arm around my neck. I don't know if you've heard, but my head is kind of in the clouds. Brilliantly so, I said. Gives her an incredible view. Isn't it wonderful, Marco? Rap said, stepping forward and spreading her arms in an expansive gesture. The lagoon is wherever you want it to be, whenever you want it to be. That phrase you mentioned to Xavier was the most prescient detail of all. Acui recidi, or treasure, legaro come and embrace, neo dixi case sigir sturbe. That didn't come from your heads, Marco said in disbelief. Years of painstaking study are the only reason I know its importance. It's written on the walls, isn't it? I am a quicker study, Rapunzel said. It's in the ancient documents, I said, jumping in, which she's been researching like crazy. You know us silly girls, we get obsessed with stories. Especially this one. Look at her. She has 70-foot long hair, bare feet, and a chameleon she talks to like a person. I'm a free spirit with a lot of time on my hands, Rapunzel said. Then why the secrecy? Marco asked. Why are you here in the middle of the night? I was running away, I said. My friend came to find me. Friend? Rapunzel asked hesitantly. We both paused. This was about more than Marco. The best, I said. Then I knelt in the mud and scooped up a handful of dirt. Would you like some of our lagoon cake? With coffee? Rapunzel asked, dripping mud on top of it. No, thank you, Marco said, though I'm going to make sure you two don't breathe a word about this. If you think I'm going to let you make a fool of me, guess again. He whipped one of the new daggers from Xavier's shop from his waistcoat, a hidden weapon. I'd never heard of princess, but no one would miss a lady in waiting. I'll take a toe as a warning. Ah! Oh, I don't know if you want to do that, I said, jumping back just in time. Why not? Asked Marco. There's a winged beast on the loose, I said. Rapunzel and I made eye contact. I whispered, I'll do the aerial portion. But, Rapunzel said, there's no protection. I trust you. You've got both feet on the ground. Anyway, my ankle is hurt. I didn't come here to suffer humiliation, Marco said, lunging for me. No, you just came here to try to take over Corona, Rapunzel said. On the count of 3, Rapunzel threw me in the air. I knocked Marco down, leaving him unconscious, and landed in Rapunzel's arms. We did it, she said, turning me upright and squeezing me. We did the winged beast. I can't believe it, I said. I'd always dreamed of this accomplishment, but I had never imagined it would be a reality, that I would be able to work with someone the way I had with her. I couldn't stop grinning. The winged beast! We stood there, breathless, our eyes fixed on the unconscious Marco. Rapunzel knelt and took his pulse. He'll be all right when he comes to, she said. Let's take him far away, so he won't know where he is. Owl, can you get Fidela for us? I asked. Fidela will ride him straight out of Corona, Rapunzel said. Who knows where he'll wake up, but he won't be back anytime soon. We're safe, I said, kneeling on the moss. We're all safe, she said, looking up at the thin circle in the sky, which was the hidden moon.
They should have just killed him.
Yeah, they almost did. I mean, he probably has a concussion.
Yeah.
Hello, people.
Hello, people.
Hello, more people joining in.
Yeah, they really should have killed him. But
I mean,
guess
he
that-
was pretty weird.
I know. Must
Like-
be your good breeding.
Yeah.
Can we talk about
Yeah,
that?
can we talk about that? You're such a silly girl, but you're obedient.
Must be that good,
Good
breeding.
breeding. Ew. Ew. Marco, ew.
Yeah,
I'm so
gross.
glad Rapunzel kicked him in the head.
Uh,
Ew. I'm not a fan of Marco at all.
Mm.
Whipped out a dagger and was going to cut my toe off.
Yeah, your little toe.
Little toe.
Barely even a toe.
Barely even a toe. Ugh, he called us silly.
All right. Chapter 34, page 259.
Marco gets the chair. Marco gets the chair.
I love it.
I'm sorry. Wow. Just pulling no punches. Marco gets the chair, everyone. First decree from Rapunzel.
Excellent. All right. We need to get to the lagoon, Cass said, standing on one foot and leaning against a tree. We'd found her sword in the bushes near where Marco had attacked her, and she'd tried to convince me that she was perfectly fine. But I could see the pain in her eyes, even though they were also brimming with excitement. Did you bring the book I left behind? Yes, it's in here, I said. I pulled it out of my satchel. The Lost Language. Insights into Sapporian myths and legends. We can figure out what Marco was talking about, but safety first. You need to tend to your foot. It's swollen to the size of my frying pan.
Ew.
Yeah, no.
My foot.
I already wrapped it, Cass said. With a napkin, I asked. She shrugged. With all the guard training you've done, including extensive first aid, you should know that a sprained ankle needs more support than a napkin. I didn't have anything else to wrap it in, Cass said. I said, looking around. I spotted a jagged rock. I picked up the cloak I tossed aside before the winged beast took flight, and I used the sharp edge of the rock to tear a hole in it. I ripped a swathe of material free. I didn't know you had that in you, Cassandra said, genuinely stunned. Excuse me, but I just performed the binged beast. Yes, excuse
The
me.
big
I just
beast.
performed the binged beast, I said. In case you didn't know, that's the ultimate feat of a great warrior. Cassandra laughed. Somewhere nearby, the animals of the night were chattering. We froze as a family of skunks trotted past us, then burst into more laughter as they disappeared into the woods behind us. That'll be a few hours worth of sewing for me, she said, gesturing toward my torn cloak. We both know how much I adore sewing. Let's apply some pressure, I said. Does this hurt? Just a little. Maybe we shouldn't go to the lagoon tonight, I said, tightening the fabric. Maybe we need to wait until you're fully recovered. Are you kidding? Cassandra said. Perhaps you have to be crazy if you think I'm just going to ignore. Just teasing, I said, laughing as I tucked the edge of the fabric into the layers to secure the bandage. Then I gave her the lantern and the book. You're way more gullible than you will ever admit. Go ahead, read. There's a whole chapter on the Lost Lagoon. English was not the first language of the poet. It was Sapporian. In that language, precious stones does not translate into jewels or gems. It refers to the rock slabs that were commonly used as writing tablets. We were never looking for stone tablets, I said, but I still can't believe we missed them. We've searched every corner of that lagoon. There's more, Cass said. Listen. She began as full, forces pull the ground at the bottom of the lagoon in polar directions, revealing a hidden space in the lagoon's floor. However, it's only during a lunar eclipse that the hidden space becomes apparent, as that's when the light of the phosphorescent creatures
Yeah.
provide adequate visibility. We don't need moonlight. We need a lunar eclipse, I said, staring up at the sky.
It's like right now.
The moon was a ghost of itself, outlined in a bright silver light. That's why Marco thought we'd come tonight. Let's go. The potential of discovery lit a fire within me. I took a deep breath of the chilly night air and offered Cass my hand. So if you're planning on repairing my cape, does that mean you aren't running away anymore? Is everyone looking for me? She asked, not committing to an answer, but leaning on me nevertheless. I nodded, and she winced. You told them I ran away? They noticed you were gone without me having to tell them, I said, guiding us toward the gulch. You had an important role as a taster of the bake-off. Yeah, but I'm sure the baker survived. Are they looking for you too? Not yet, I said. At least, I don't think so. Dahlia is laying in my bed, posing as me, and Eugene will distract them if he needs to. Do they know where we are? Cass asked. No, I said. We had just reached a steep rock wall. I faced her and looked directly in her eyes. And by the way, Dahlia was just helping me make something. I didn't even really tell her what it was. I just needed some supplies. Really? She asked. Yes, I said. Who knew you'd be so sensitive about friendship bracelets? Ugh, not you too. Oops. Wait. Really? She asked. Yes, I said. Who knew you'd be so sensitive about friendship bracelets? I asked, and I winked. Ugh, not you too. No winking, she said.
The winking.
I laughed, wrapping my hair around her and carrying her over the rock barrier, then slowly and steadily lowered us into the gulch. The narrow walls magnified the lantern's light. It cast a warm glow around us, as though the moon itself accompanied us. Why don't you just tell me you were buying supplies, she asked. You wouldn't give me a chance, I said. And she was helping with a present for you, you must know. What present? Cass asked. You're going to have to wait and see, I said. You were right, by the way. I need to be more careful about who I invite back to my room. There's a lot at stake, more than I realized. And you're a great warrior today, Cass said. You do have good instincts. We waded around the last corner of the gulch, and then I climbed over the final ridge. I let down my hair so Cass could climb up it. We were both stunned into the absolute silence when we came across the lagoon. The starfish, which we had seen so many times before, were lit up like miniature lanterns, illuminating at the very bottom of the lagoon, even the tiny nooks and crannies. In a way that the sunlight and the moonlight simply couldn't do. It was only in the pitch of black that they shone this brightly. Do you see them? I asked. The stones under the jewels, she said. The tablets. Let's go get them, I said, placing the lantern on a rock. I can't put pressure on my ankle, but I can swim, Cass said. We stripped down to our bloomers and camisoles and dove into the water. Using the starfish as our guides, we freed the tablets from the bottom of the lagoon and then swam back up to the surface. Cass and I each held one, and then, realizing they had once been a single stone, fit them together like a puzzle. Let there only be love here, Cass read, hovering over the tablet with a lantern. And it's signed. Champagne, poet and general, I said.
Was it champagne?
Champagne?
Shrimpy?
Champagne.
General Shrimpy?
General Shrimpy is the author of this poem.
Champagne.
This is a love poem. I was right. It's a love poem about champagne and Hertz du Chon. What does the other half say? Cass asked. I pulled out the Soporian dictionary and did my best to translate. It is here that we made our vow to join kingdoms. Peace is our treasure. When opposites come together in the name of love and goodness, despite their differences, they manifest to the ultimate power. As long as the land is not disturbed, nor will the country's peace be. They may have used some of the gems in our ceremony, but the treasure is peace, Cass said. They had a secret wedding here, I said, unable to contain my enthusiasm. That's what the altar is for. Look, Cass said, turning the interlocking stones over. There's more on the back. It wasn't in English. She read aloud, If anyone shall make this discovery, hold it close. Sacrifice an object to bind you to this place, as we rulers have sacrificed our weapons. Take this vow. Herein lies our treasure, bonded with an embrace. Let it not be disowned. It's also where they worked out their politics and surrendered their weapons. The spearhead, I said. It was Hertz de Chon's. This explains why half the notes are written in English and the other half were in Soporian. I feel like we're part of something major, Cass said. I feel like I'm a part of Corona, I said. Maybe I do belong here. Of course you do, Cass said, sounding surprised. You're the princess. This is the first time I felt like it, I said, and the truth of the words calmed my heart. Solving this mystery was my coronation. Cass considered this. So, what are we going to do to sacrifice? Our bracelets, I said. That makes sense because we found the stones here, Cassandra said. They should be returned to sacred ground, I said. And anyway, this is the only place that they sparkle. I scurried up the rocks to my satchel, handing Cassandra her bracelet, and then presented my wrist for her to untie mine.
Ooh.
Therein lies treasure, bonded with an embrace. Let it not be disturbed, we said in unison. And then we tossed our bracelets into the lagoon.
Yep, this is a real special. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. Herein lies our treasure.
Herein lies our treasure, bonded with an embrace. Let it not be disturbed. Okay, so I know that you're really not into touchy-feely stuff, I said, but I pretty much think we have to hug right now. Okay, fine, Cass said. And we did. Listen, Raps. You let me do my thing by practicing the winged beast. I know you have to do your things too, like telling Eugene what you have to tell him, or making a new friend. We both have destinies to find. I wouldn't be a good lady in waiting if I held you back from doing yours. Cass, that is the sweetest, kindest, loveliest thing that anyone, I started. Before I could go on, Cassandra jumped, taking me with her. We screamed with delight as we dropped into the water.
Oh.
Whee!
They're saying it's Rapunzel's birthday.
Happy birthday!
It's Rapunzel's birthday?
It's her birthday?
It's your birthday?
Dry banana hippie hat?
It's Rapunzel's birthday?
It's a birthday.
Oh yeah. The funny thing about birthdays.
When you get kidnapped
They
by
happen
Mother
once
Gothel.
a year, yeah. Wow, happy birthday, Rapunzel. Really? Where do we find that out?
I don't know.
I'm curious where we find out the official date. Wow, happy birthday, Raps.
Happy birth.
Here you go. Bonded with an embrace. And we jumped into the lagoon.
Whee!
Chapter 35. What on earth are all these guards doing out? I asked. We crouched as we hid behind a cluster of trees at the edge of the castle grounds. My ankle throbbed. Wisps of fog were in the autumn air, chilling us. Judging by the bruised color of the sky, it was about 4:30 in the morning. They're looking for you, Rapunzel said. Impossible. They're here for the festival, I said, wondering how we were going to make it past the guards and get into our rooms undetected. The festival ended hours ago, Raps said. Owl, who we'd sent to scope out the scene, landed on my arm. What do you say, Owl? Do they know Raps is outside of the castle? Owl ruffled his feathers and hooted quietly. Woo, woo. That's a no, I said. Oh, nice! My Dahlia plan worked, Rapunzel said. So, all this security is for me? I asked quietly, not really intending to pose the question aloud. It was hard for me to comprehend that so many people would care about my absence. Of course it is, Rapunzel said, taking my arm. Cass, don't you see? So many people care about you. Me, your father, my parents, Friedborg? Friedborg, I asked, cocking an eyebrow. Raps, give me a break. I'm sure she was concerned, and I know you may not believe it, but Eugene was worried too. You're right, I said, pushing a strand of hair behind my ear. I don't believe you. I know he rubs you the wrong way, but Eugene is not as bad as you think. He's pretty wonderful, actually. He's kind and helpful and sweet and handsome. Okay, I get your point, I said. And anyway, you're the only other person in all of Corona who knows about the ancient power, Raps said. You belong here as much as I do. And you know you can't argue with me about that. She's right, I thought. And that wasn't something I could usually admit. I noticed her bare feet were covered in dirt. Hey, when you're queen and I'm captain of the guard, do you think we can outlaw high heels? I asked. She laughed. I don't know about outlawing them, but we can definitely set a trend. Owl hooted, alerting me that someone was approaching. I yanked on Rapunzel's arm, pulling her down into the shadows. I whispered, right now, we focus on getting inside, or at least getting you inside. What do you mean? I'm not going without you, Rapunzel said. Raps, if Owl is right and no one knows that you're gone, we have to make sure you're back in your chambers as soon as possible and that you make it there safely and quietly. It'll be better for all of us. What about you? Raps asked. I'm going to surrender myself, I said. Whatever the punishment is for running away, I should take it. We're a team. Let's surrender together. Raps said. No, if we do that, the punishment will be worse, I said. You have to know that by now. Plus, your hair is wet. There will be too many questions. Rapunzel considered for a moment and then nodded. So what's the plan? If I create a distraction by surrendering myself, the guard force will be decreased, I said. And then you dart over to the garden below your window and wait until the coast is clear. I'll send Owl to warn Pascal. He can open the window, and then I'll use my hair to climb back up into my room, Rapunzel said. She bit her lip. Dahlia's still there, I think. We'll have to deal with her later, I said. When dawn comes, maybe your dreamboat, Eugene, can secretly escort her back to the market.
That seems like way more suspicious.
Yeah, that really does seem way
sneaking out on a woman.
Yeah, like Eugene sneaking out of Rapunzel's room with another woman seems way more suspicious. Like, sorry guys, bad plan, but we'll keep going. We'll have to deal with her later, I said. When dawn comes, maybe your dreamboat Eugene can secretly escort her back to the market. He'd do it for me, Raps said, and for you. I'll believe it when I see it. Are you ready for this? I asked. Raps nodded. She flattened herself against the earth. Then I stood up and walked toward the castle, ready to face the world. Nope, it's you. It's the last chapter?
Oh, no, is it?
I don't know, it might be. No.
Nope, we got 2 more tiny little chapters.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Chapter 36, page 272.
What is that? Oh, it's your hair. I'm sorry.
That's my tumor.
I was like, what is that? That is all your hair.
I think I'm starting to get a feel for what it was like when you were locked in a tower for 18 years, Dahlia said, when, after climbing the length of my hair, I crawled through my window and collapsed on the floor. Dahlia wasn't lying in my bed pretending to be me asleep. She was busy at work, decorating a slab of wood. Pascal pointed to her and rolled his eyes with exasperation. He had clearly had enough of Dahlia. Technically, it's only been a day, I said, pulling my hair up behind me with great effort. If 70 feet of hair was a lot to carry around, 70 feet of wet hair was a ton. Mm-hmm. I get that you're going a little stir crazy, but I'm not sure that's an accurate comparison. I tumbled onto the floor as I pulled the last of my hair inside. Maybe you're right, she said with a sigh. As an artist, I don't always think of time and space in a linear fashion, and I'm sure you don't either. What do you mean? I asked. And what are you doing? I'm transferring one of your sketches to a piece of wood. I'm using special glue. Oh, your style doesn't really abide by rules. Take this, for example, she said, holding up one of my sketches of Cass. It had started as a drawing, but then later I had added paint. I get a feeling from this picture without knowing the time or even the place. From your brushstrokes and your composition, pure emotion does come across. Really? I asked, gazing at the half-finished portrait of the two of us. There's a lot of movement, Dahlia said. It's vibrant. Well, that's Cass, I said. That's not just Cass, though, Dahlia said. See, it's also in the way you feel when you're with her, right? Wow, I said. Even though I had spent countless hours drawing and painting, fully absorbed in the process, I never really talked about it with anyone before. In my mind, this all relates to time and space, Dahlia said. I think I get what you're saying. I mean, when I'm with Cass and when I'm painting, time does move differently. You are seriously an amazing princess, Dahlia said. But I really need to get out of here. My spirit is like itching. She gestured toward the wood. Do you mind if I let this piece dry here while I get back to my cart? Sure, I said. Where's the wood from? It was from one of your bookshelves. You don't mind, do you? I guess not, I said, glancing at the bookshelves. Eugene and I had planned. What? I guess not, I said, glancing at one of the bookshelves Eugene and I had planned. And what? This sentence?
Amazing.
It's like missing a preposition. That the royal carpenter had built, now missing the bottom shelf. Dahlia had stacked the books that were on the bottom shelf in an artful way. They actually looked pretty, lying horizontally, where the others above them were positioned vertically. And she'd clearly done it with care. The stacks were color coordinated. Maybe next time you can ask me, though, okay? Okay, Dahlia said, closing her suitcase of supplies and walking toward my door. Though, sometimes you need to ruin something in order to make it what it really needs to be.
Okay.
Wait, okay. I said. She froze. And I could tell the sharpness of my voice had startled startled her.
Did me a frighten.
Sorry, Dahlia, but we're going to have to sneak you out of here. I peeked out the window. There were only a few guards, and they were all by the drawbridge, crowding around. Owl circled above. I knew the crowd had gathered for Cassandra's return. She had turned herself in. A sense of ease filled me. Cassandra was back, and she wasn't going anywhere. Okay, the coast is clear. Yeah, that would be great. I'd really like to display it, Dahlia said. Pascal shook his head, totally felt fed up. Dahlia had turned out to be pretty demanding, but she had an interesting point of view, especially about art. I'll do my best, I said. The sun was starting to rise, peeking above the distant hills with red rays. Hey, have you ever used your hair as material before? I asked. No, she said. Well, you're about to descend it as if it were rope. That should give you a new perspective, I said. And once again, I let down my hair. Kind of sassy.
Good. Dahlia deserves to be sassed. Like, come on, Hippo. Like Pascal's like, get her out of here. Pascal does not like Dahlia. Chapter 37, Cassandra. I joined the royal family for tea the next day, after the Hervanians had said their goodbyes. Evidently, Marie had had such a fun time at the festival, the fencing demonstration and Monsieur Lafleur's revolution dance being the highlights, that they had insisted on coming back for the next big Corona festival. I would not be looking forward to that, but I had bigger fish to fry at the moment. I arrived to the royal tea promptly at 3 o'clock. The king, queen, Rapunzel, and Eugene were there. I didn't see why he needed to be included, but then again, I never did. You certainly gave us a scare last night, my dear, Queen Ariana said to me when I limped inside. My ankle was still tender. I'm sorry, I said, curtsying as well as I could. When Rapunzel... What?
I broke her neck.
No! Tiny Cass. When Rapunzel told us that you had run away, we were devastated, Queen Ariana said, pouring the tea as Friedborg arrived with a tray of crumpets. Apologies, I reiterated. Cass? When I'd surrendered myself, a legion of guards had lifted me up and chanted a victory cry. They had cheered so loudly my ears were still ringing. Moments later, my father had embraced me with tears in his eyes. It was the first time that I'd seen my father cry. And then a written invitation for tea had come from the queen herself first thing in the morning. Cassandra, dear, you know that you have a place here in Corona, Queen Ariana said, placing her warm hand over mine. At that moment, I couldn't help noticing that she and Rapunzel had identical hands, long fingers, prominent knuckles, and strong palms. Raps, seated on the other side of me, squeezed my other hand. A very important place, King said, dabbing his mouth with a napkin. We know your official title is Lady-in-Waiting, but because of your special skill set, your extraordinary fighting skills, Rapunzel piped up. Because you are you, Queen Ariana said, getting to the heart of it. We also think of you as Rapunzel's protector. Of course, I'm also Rapunzel's protector, Eugene said. Some might even say the main one. Eugene's eyes widened, and I bit back a smile. I knew Rapunzel was probably pinching him under the table. I don't know if anyone here has noticed, but I'm pretty good at protecting myself, Rapunzel said. I've noticed, I said. I turned to the queen. Your daughter is very strong. No one doubts your abilities, Rapunzel, Queen Ariana said. But in this world, we need to look out for each other. A team is stronger than one person. I know, I said, locking eyes with Rapunzel. I couldn't help thinking of the words on the tablets in the lagoon, which is why I'm especially sorry that I ran away. I had a moment where I thought my destiny was to leave.
Aw.
The call of destiny is a strong one, to be certain, Queen Ariana said. I heard it myself at your age. At several points in life, we feel the need to search, and perhaps the desire to wander. If our lives were laid out before us in neat maps, how would we grow? If we didn't yearn or question, what would happen to our souls? I shook my head, speechless. And yet, ironically, surrendering to your destiny, the one you feel deep in your soul, is the bravest act, the king said. You belong here, my dear girl, Queen Ariana said. I don't know if that's... With us, Rapunzel added, and I knew they were right.
Okay, suspicious spam caller.
Spam caller. Sorry, I'll just read that part again because sorry. phone. And yet, ironically, surrendering to your destiny, the one you feel deep in your soul, is the bravest act, the king said. You belong here, my dear girl, Queen Oriana said. With us, Rapunzel added. And I knew they were right.
Yay!
There's a place for you in Corona. It's your destiny.
Your destiny.
I'm just gonna...
All right, we are on the very last chapter, page 281,
All right,
chapter 38.
here we go.
Here's the picture I was going to give you before you left, I said, presenting the book-shaped portrait to Cassandra after dinner. Is that me? She asked, studying the sketch. Yes. This is what I was working on when you decided to run away. I like it, Cass said. Do you think I can help you finish it? You don't want to do that? I asked, surprised. Cass had never seemed interested in my artwork. You've helped me so much with the winged beast. At this time, I learned a little bit more about art. I bet if I study hard enough, I can even learn as much as Dahlia. I don't want you to be like Dahlia, I said, setting up my easel and opening the jars of paint. Dahlia has a lot of great qualities, and she knows a ton about art, but I'd rather hang out with you, at least most of the time. Cass didn't even try to hide her smile. I handed her a jar with a tight lid, and she opened it with ease. I realized then that even though she may not ever ask for it, she certainly needed some reassurance. You know, I said, your maps are works of art. They're practical documents, Cass said. They're bulk. Why don't you go get them? She did, and as soon as she returned, I continued. I was thinking that if I combined your map of the lagoon with my portraits, we could create something truly unique and beautiful. I guess it's kind of dangerous to have a map of secret places just lying around, Cass said. What if they fell into the wrong hands? Something that Dahlia had said had inspired me. Sometimes you need to ruin something in order to make it what it really wants to be. I took out some sewing shears and cut through the canvas with our portraits on them. What are you doing? Cass asked. I'm making art, I said proudly. I used some of the paint to place the pictures of us on the map, right in the place where the lagoon was. See, it's us at the lagoon. Here, I said, and I handed Cassandra a paintbrush. What do I do with it? She asked, holding it as though it were a foreign object, one that might bite her. Draw what you see in your heart, I said. She wrinkled her nose at me, and I laughed. Okay, fine, just paint something from the lagoon. She dipped her brush in yellow and drew an outline around our bodies. Is that the light from the shimmering gems? I asked, and she nodded. I mixed the blue with a dollop of black and swirled the colors around to create a shade of midnight. Then I painted over the map. Cassandra gasped. The lagoon needs to be kept a secret to honor our friendship, I said, as I covered her detailed lines and precise measurements with thick paint. And protect the kingdom, she said, taking her own brush to the canvas. The fire crackled. Oh my goodness. The fire crackled in the fireplace, and we worked until I felt in my gut that the artwork was done. The map was completely disguised, but our portraits were outlined in gold. It looked as though we were dancing through the air, together and free. The end.
The end.
The end.
Together and free. Yay! Oh. And that ends Rapunzel and the Lost Lagoon.
Da, 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 da. That's the ending music.
Yep. Da, 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 da.
Roll
End credits. Yep. Da, da, da. Starring Pascal.
Cassandra. Rapunzel.
Eugene.
Oh shit.
Eugene. And others.
Others?
Doodly-doo. And Marco.
Oh wait, Marco. That was Elsa.
Oh yeah, Marco was Elsa. Yay! So thank you. That was awesome. It's been a few years since we read that.
Mm-hmm.
So wow. I personally like the scene where she looks at Queen Ariana's hand and realizes that her and Rapunzel have the same hands. I feel like that's a very particularly beautiful moment. It's very nicely written, very sweet.
I like that she apologized.
I do
thought
like
that was sweet.
Yes, yeah, I like that she she like owned up to herself being dramatic, which is a nice like mini arc for Cass because obviously she doesn't learn. But
she sure doesn't.
But in the context of the story, Cass does sort of realize that she's being ridiculous and to kind of realize that people do care about her, and she does apologize for being crazy. And they're all like so happy to have her back, which is so nice. They welcome her back. And I think the line that really hurts is when she says, when you're queen and I'm captain of the guard, can we do this together? Because it's sort of like it kind of like in the context of things, it's kind of like one of those like the two kids playing with the swords, like the wooden swords. So when you're queen and I'm captain of the guard, we're gonna be the best. Like it comes off as one of those.
And nothing could go wrong.
Oh no, it all went wrong. Well, she didn't have ancient demons whispering in her ear this time around. True. There was a lack of demon.
Dahlia was a demon.
Dahlia was actually, yes, plot twist. Dahlia was Zandiri.
You know, that actually makes more sense.
That actually does make more sense than Dahlia just being, She
was like, oh, well, that didn't work. I guess I have to take another form.
Yeah. I was like, maybe I'll disguise myself as a painter in the market and try to pull them apart. Oh, okay. Well, they're too strong. Okay, I guess I'll just turn purple and small. And now Cass is absolutely going to hate Rapunzel. And it worked for a time. I don't know. Anyway, I did look it up. So apparently, based on the movie, when Rapunzel looks at the constellations in the sky, astronomers figured out that May 12th was the day of her birthday.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so like people actually like figured out through the stars. So maybe it's like, you know, like an estimate, but May 12th, that's today. So happy birthday, princess. Yay! Where's your... Yay! Happy birthday! Boop. Happy birthday, Rapunzel. So anyway, okay. Cool. Does anyone have... Is this one mine?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Anyone have any like
questions
or like things that they'd like to discuss about the book specifically, or the show, or Rapunzel's birthday, or how terrible Marco is?
Dahlia.
And how, the great plot point of Dahlia. Where the chat is open. We'd love to talk about the book a little more. It's so wonderful. We do love it.
We do love this book. I do love ducklings.
You do love ducklings.
Okay.
Cass is going to be right back.
After these messages.
As Rapunzel takes the stand.
Uh-oh. Princess Rapunzel?
Please take the stand.
Talk
about diplomacy.
All right. Do you think you'll do a reading of The Vanishing Village? Well, we would like to. We would like to do that in the future. I'm not sure if we're going to do it directly after this, or if we're going to like wait a couple of weeks or just a week. But we do ideally want to read this. I know we've said before that we haven't actually ever finished this book. We left off on page 155 on chapter 20. And I don't really remember a lot about it. I know I wasn't as engaged with the story as I was the Lost Lagoon, but I still really liked it. And I liked that it had like a very specific timeline in it of them being on the road, of the caravan and everything, and like Lance is in it and stuff. So we would like to read it, if not for any other reason than the fact that we haven't finished it. So that is something that we are discussing. So yeah. I know that last time we had talked about how we wish there was a third book, either about like Lance and Eugene, like a prequel type of book, or how we were surprised that there wasn't a like Varian book. I'm really surprised about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hi, I'm back. I'm back with Starbucks.
I was just saying that we are planning to do a Vanishing Village. We're just not quite sure when.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but we would like to do it.
I'm just reading this. They should have. Oh, I like that. They should have told the captain, let them deal with him.
Yeah, right. Captain of the guard.
Yeah, why wasn't Cass like, hey, Dad, there's this really terrible man that tried to kill me, but I mean,
That's the
she's her
epilogue.
ego. Yeah, the captain just being like, but they drove him out of town. So
The Vanishing Village wasn't gay enough, but it's still good. Yeah, I mean, I think that was everyone's general consensus.
Yeah, after this one, nothing could really top the Lost Lagoon. So I mean, I think we pre-ordered the Vanishing Village, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. And
we knew that it would be different because obviously, like,
Eugene
the cover.
was on the cover and Cass is on the bottom.
Yeah. Symbolic.
Cass eats dirt. Cass eats dirt in the Vanishing Village?
Probably.
She's just prepping to
because
eat
it's like
rocks.
that weird.
I do remember there's like a kind of a cult theme.
Yeah, there's like a weird cult going on at the village.
Yeah. So yeah, no, we're definitely planning on it, and also it would be really nice to finally finish it because I'd love to see how it ends.
Oh yeah, Harmony Glen. That just sounds like a cult.
Yeah, with the star system. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know when, but I mean, probably soon.
Yeah,
just keep the train rolling. Have the Tangled book club. Keep going. Yeah, because I don't know how it ends. I remember they were putting on a play. It's pretty much Midsommar. Oh,
yeah, it is actually.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, I think it's about the same length. Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, we'll just trade off who reads Eugene.
Yeah, the way we did it last time. Well, when we were reading it together,
when I almost
died.
Yeah,
like if the Rapunzel chapter was first and then Eugene was after, like I would read Eugene, and if Eugene it was after Cass,
then I would read. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, I'm like we said last time, the Eugene and Lance, Lagoon parallel book would have been really cool. And the Varian book would have been really cool, which I'm surprised. But Varian also, I feel like that could be pretty possible because of that gap of time with like season 3 with the Seporia thing, that like it could really tie in the lore. Yeah, so that would have been a cool opportunity.
Yeah, it also would have like made up for the lack of stability in the conclusion of Varian's story, because like I think most people agree that whole episode was really rushed. Yeah. So like it would have been nice to get a little more context on like him and like that.
So that would have been a great opportunity, but I don't know if they're even going to do that at this point, but it would be really cool.
I lost what page we're on, but it's fine.
It's okay. I'll never forget falling into the fire. Eugene has the least amount of chapters between Cass and Raps. Oh, okay, then fine. Then we'll just use our fun voices, our fun Eugene voices. Hello, Rapunzel. My name is Eugene, and I love you.
And I love you.
And I love you, Rapunzel. My name is Eugene. I do like how Eugene feels inferior at the end of the Lost Lagoon, where her parents are like, Cass, you are Rapunzel's main protector. You're so... And Eugene's like, hi, man here. No, shh. We don't... Shh, go to bed, Eugene. No, but, no. Cass is here now. Yes. So what is your favorite part of the Lost Lagoon?
I really like the end when they are in the lagoon together for the last time and they go swimming. That's really special. There's also just like a lot of like small cute things in it, like when they're practicing the winged beast for the first time. Like that's really cute. And I just like when they meet for the first time. That's really nice. It's really nice that we got that insight to their relationship. That's cute.
Yeah, I like that too.
How about you?
My favorite part, I mean, I wouldn't say my favorite part is the Dahlia scene with the blackberry buns, but I think that scene's definitely the most like intense and surprising for the book. I want to say my favorite scene is, I love the swimming scene. because that's so telling. I love when they first meet. I really liked this little scene when they were like, Raps, you can't get your hair wet. So Rapunzel, like, so Cass dove in, was like making fun of her.
Mhm.
And then Rapunzel like swung over and like scooped her up and like threw them both into the air, and they like fell, and they were like, let's make a water slide. Oh,
Yeah, that's
like,
really cute.
Splash fight. Like, it was just so sweet. And like both of them didn't have any guards up or walls up. And they both, like, it was such not an out of character moment for Cassandra, but
it was a freeing moment.
It was freeing. And it showed that they could have these moments. So when Raps is like, you don't know her like I do, you don't know her like I do. Ooh, are we playing a game?
I'm just like cramping.
It really was a special moment that we needed to see as readers, to see like, oh yeah, Cass is really sweet and soft, but never around anyone except Rapunzel. And so I'd say that's my favorite scene.
Yep. I also really like any of the stuff with Marie in the book. I think Marie is like a very interesting character because she's just got like a great sort of like Gatsby vibe to her, where she's very like refined, and but she's also sporty and like interesting, and she's definitely a very particular type of character, and I really like her, and I'm like sad that she was never in the show, because I think that would have been really interesting to have seen sort of like that other female presence in Rapunzel's life that was threatening to Cass, you know,
instead of it being Dahlia.
Yeah, because I didn't really like that. I didn't like seeing that side of Rapunzel.
Yeah,
it made me uncomfortable.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the like healthy competition and like sort of like the prissy prim way. Oh, this is how you should be being a princess. This is how you should be being a lady in waiting. Blah blah blah. Yeah, no, Maria's a great character. It would have been great to have seen her. Yeah, some healthy competition, you know.
Because like Maria is sort of like that mix between Cass and Rapunzel. You know, she's the royalty, but she's sporty and athletic and, you know, competitive. And, you know, obviously Rapunzel is competitive too, but
challenge of the brave.
Yeah. But not on the same level that like Marie was. So Marie was just a great foil, I think, to Rapunzel.
Foil. That's our word of the day. What do you wish that the book had done differently? Anything? Because I don't.
I mean, like it's a not a children's book, but like it's a young adult.
It's a children's book, yeah.
Novel. So like I don't want to be like too hard on it. Yeah. Because like it's not that serious. You know, it's meant for
enjoyment.
Yeah. But I do think Marco as a villain is kind of cheap. Yeah. But like I also like it's fun.
Yeah, like you knew the shadowed cloak man playing the lute was going to, you know,
like it's
be a
fine.
Problem.
It's not that serious. It's a kid. It's a kid's book.
It's a kid.
It's a kid.
Yeah, it's a kid. You just read it for.
Yeah, and it's still really sweet, and it's very well written and thought out, and I think the characterizations are really spot on, which is impressive.
Yeah, Leila Howland did a really good job at, especially the dialogue, because reading it aloud really felt like you were just reading lines from the show. Like very, very, especially in season 1, very good. I find it so interesting that they harped on the destiny thing as a theme. That to me is like a takeaway from the book. It's like, wow, destiny was always an issue. Like, and it just became more of a severe thing.
But did they ever get the poem book back?
Ooh.
Did they? No, they didn't.
No, because
he had it, and
I
guess he stole it.
Yeah, but I mean,
but maybe he had it on him. I
didn't.
They sent him off on Fidela.
I would like to think that they did, like it fell out of him when he like flipped over.
Yeah, same. I assume they got it back. But
because I would love to see them keep that. I feel like that would be something Rapunzel would like press flowers in from the lagoon, like something really sweet. Yeah, I do love the ending when they take the map and they paint the portrait over it.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Together. It's like a true like bonding of like they're what? Nope, leggy. Yeah, I guess, yeah, lots of books. I still think it would have been really sweet in the show if we had seen just Rapunzel, flipping through her pages of her art and just we found the lagoon picture. I feel like that would have been a great
Easter
nod.
egg.
Yeah, Easter egg.
Yeah,
I know. I would have just screamed.
Mhm.
And Rapunzel's like, la, these are all the pictures I did. Oh, this is me and Cass. This is me and Cass. This is me and Cass. And then there's like them in the lagoon. La 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 la.
Yeah, that would have been really nice.
Yeah. I forgot that they threw the bracelets in too.
Yeah, I forgot about
I was
that.
like, where are the bracelets? Oh wait. Oh yeah, they like got rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh,
I think I remember them. Yes, they do.
What? I can't read that far away.
I think I remember them having friendship bracelets in beginnings. Yes, they do.
They do.
They
so there's sort of like
there is a nod.
Yeah, I'd like to think that was the nod in the series, perhaps, toward the Lost Lagoon.
Yes, I know. The whole time we were watching that, we were like, are they going to retcon the lagoon or what are they doing? Basically, what was that episode called?
Beginning.
Yeah, Beginnings I feel like was kind of a redo of Challenge of the Brave, but just earlier.
Yeah, I liked Beginnings. Like I liked the like Cass and Rapunzel stuff, but the whole like competition thing, I thought that was so ludicrous and so dumb that like I like checked out like halfway through the episode. I was like, this is so like beyond unbelievable. Like, what?
Yeah.
Rapunzel's being thrown in a pit.
Oh yeah, because they were being thrown by the giant
robot thing.
Yeah.
Like I was like, huh?
Yeah, so it was more like Challenge of the Brave, but like times 6,000.
Yeah, Mecha edition.
Yeah, Mecha edition with the weird, yeah. So, but Corona apparently has that magic.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the bracelets in Beginnings were really sweet, and I hope that was like we want to bring something from this book, and yeah, I do think those were really sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beginning is for the most part very nice because we get to see that pocket of time with Rapunzel with the short hair and pre-series.
Yeah,
that.
And
so
that's just
nice.
The handmaiden dress, which is like also a very particular time, like before they snuck out, where it's like that's a whole chunk of their relationship.
Yeah, that we got some insight on. So that's nice.
It's like an important part because it's like the beginning where they're both hiding a lot from each other. Yeah.
Something is like on fire outside.
Yes, something is on fire outside. There are a lot of weird sirens outside. Cool. All right, we have to evacuate this.
Oh no.
Yep, grab the dresses. Yeah, what is that sound?
I don't know.
Cool.
I think it might actually be a car alarm.
Oh, okay. But yes, and free. Together and free.
Together and free.
There's so many beautiful quotes in the book too, that Leila Howland just writes with so much heart, and they're just to me, they're obviously so romantic. They read so intensely that like I don't think I've ever like looked at a friend and said like I fell on my sword for you to show you the world.
Yeah, a little dramatic. Cass.
A little
dramatic.
I mean, I said that to you, but
we're engaged.
So it's funny. Hence why I wanted to send a letter.
Yeah.
He's like, hi. So anyway, hi.
I'd be curious what I actually haven't really looked at what else she has written beyond. I don't know if she does other Disney publishing material. or if she does her own original works. I'm not really quite sure what else she does. But I mean, I follow her on Instagram, and she has a good time.
Yeah,
she's a teacher, right?
Yeah, she's
Mm-hmm.
just gals falling on their swords for their pals.
Yep.
That's me. I just fall on my sword for my best friend, for my pal, who I get jealous of when she has another girl in her room.
Taking off my friendship bracelet.
Taking off the bracelet that we secretly, silently swore never to take off. What a great point, though, that Cass is like gonna take it off, but she doesn't. Like, she's never like the first one to like do something.
Yeah, Rapunzel, like,
because even in the show, with the canon, yeah, it's like Cass is always the one that kind of like has that bit of hope, and then Rapunzel so quickly destroys it. But it's never Rapunzel's fault directly. So like,
except in beginnings when Cass does make the decision to like be a part of that other.
Oh yeah, she's gonna join the other kingdom. Yeah, so I think that's
kind of one of the examples. But yeah, for the most part, it is always Rapunzel. It's either her just the fact that she is naive, or because she's so trusting that she is the one that often
messes up.
Yeah.
But also the people around her are so ridiculous that it's hard to see. So Rapunzel inadvertently strings Cass along.
I think so. I think that's a lot of what leads up to everything when they are on the road.
Oh, when it's like, I am your protector.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, season 2 really starts out like post Lagoon, like, I'm your protector. I swore I wouldn't let anything happen to you.
Yeah, on the road, like, I'm gonna do everything in my power. And like Rapunzel is just so like independent and doesn't want that, and doesn't need it. But yeah, so like, it messes with Cass's head, and Cass, I think in season 2 is just starting to get used to the fact that this is her duty and this is her role,
and she like is okay with that.
Yeah,
and she has pride in that at the beginning of the season. She's like, I'm here to protect you, and
Rapunzel's just like, la 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 la.
I'm okay with that.
Talk to a monkey with a diaper.
Yep. And so it's like constantly testing her, like like, you wanted me to do this, you begged me to stay, like you wanted me to be your handmaiden. And finally, I'm okay with that. We're going to do this thing together. And now you're not listening. Yeah. So it's like, okay, all right. Like, finally, when I'm like, I've come to terms with this, now I feel like I'm falling on my sword again. So there is definitely, things that you see in the book. Another reason, Leila Howland does the characterization so well, because the whole Blackberry bun scene. Like, oh.
I had a dream and blackberry buns were in it.
Really?
Yeah. It was last night. It was before my really sad dream. I had a really sad dream that really sad. I woke up really upset. I had a really bad dream that this little hippo, he's my favorite little plush. I had a dream that he like ripped in half and stuffing was everywhere. And it was really sad. It was the first thing I said when I woke up.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, she woke up and she was like,
it was so sad.
My hippo ripped in half.
Like, cry.
Yeah, don't
anyway.
It's okay.
I had a dream that we like lived near like 3 like vegan bakeries, and like one morning I like went to like all 3 of them to like find the blackberry bun.
Oh man.
and my mom was with me, and she was just like, oh well, like the one like down the street usually has it, but I went to like the other 2 first. It was very cute.
Oh wow, was I there?
No, because I was like, it was like a secret.
Oh
yeah.
Wow, that's adorable.
Like me and my mom were like planning. Yeah, it was really cute. And then somehow that like fell apart and my hippo ripped in half.
No. Dahlia did it. No. I know I had the dream that Leila Howland came into the live stream.
It was mad.
Yeah, and she
which
was
is
mad
my
at
favorite.
us.
I love that.
Yeah, and I woke up like, yeah. So that was funny. I know I had another part of the dream, but I can't remember because that was so jarring that I forgot the other part. But I love that you dreamt about the blackberry buns. Yeah.
They look really good in my dream.
Yeah, I imagine them kind of like the escargot au raisin, like the croissants that are swirly.
Yeah, they're like really sugary and glazy, but not necessarily sticky.
Yeah, and there you like put the blackberries like in the swirl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that sounds good.
Mm.
One day we'll go back to Montreal and have delicious pastries.
Yes, one day we will go back to. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, sorry about your dream.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. I think the sweetest dream I've ever had in regards to like a Tangled dream. Have you ever had any Tangled dreams?
I'm sure I have, but I can't think of any. Like off the top of my head because it's been like,
we've been in this for a long time.
For like 3 years. I know I've had dreams.
Yeah. I had a dream once that was really sweet. That I remember off the top of my head of like Cass and Raps on the parapet of the castle,
as they say,
of the parapet. And Cass was like talking about how like once like her dad let her come up here or something when she was like little, and she like looked out and like wondered like if the lost princess and her would ever be friends. And then now they were like standing there together.
That's sad.
It was a great dream.
I don't like that.
It's sweet. Yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for like Cass growing up wanting to be in the guard in order to save Rapunzel, because that's I think what all of like the kids growing up, like the teens, like while Raps was like gone, like I feel like obviously they would be like, we have to be strong because we have to find this princess. Are they looking? I don't know. Were they looking for her? Oh. But
well, apparently they never said her name.
Yeah, right. I like to think that like the purpose of the guard being the best in the world and like that being hammered into everyone's heads is because they needed to find Rapunzel, so they needed to be the best. So I like to imagine Cass being so bent on wanting to be like the captain because she wanted to be the one to find her.
Mm-hmm.
And so in Rapunzel Day 1, she gets a sort of not power trip, but like
she gets to live the
fantasy of being the one to save you from the ruffians.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's what she chooses to say. I saved you from the tower, from the ruffians. And she gets to satisfy that. Mm-hmm. Like I just would have really loved like a little flashback with like teen Cass, like training, be like, I'm going to find the princess. No, I'm going to find the princess. Cass, like, I'm going to find the princess and I'm going to be her best friend. So I would love that.
Yeah, that would have been really cute.
Yeah, that would be something that, you know, I would at least hope the comics would have done or something. But at this point, it's up to us.
It's up to us. Stop. Eugene? Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, because Eugene's captain of the guard. Reading this book at the time, I would have never expected the spoilers.
Yeah, that makes it like sad. But sort of all season 1 era stuff makes me really sad because it's like they spent so much time marketing Rapunzel and Cass's friendship.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, they had the dolls released together. They had this book about their friendship being published. They have all these other little supplemental materials, including the comics and sort of like those other books about like the etiquette book, like the princess etiquette book and all that.
Yeah. We have a few of them.
And then, so that's just like sad.
Wait, maybe I can actually find that. Yeah, it's a little sad because the show just kind of went to, you know, the direction that it did.
Yeah. It's like a Princess's Guide to Survival or something.
It's called Rapunzel's Guide to All Things Brave, Creative, and Fun, actually. This is a great book if you haven't got it. It's a Tangled the series book. They released so many of these, but this one is particularly amazing because it has Cassandra's archery lesson in it. It has beautiful illustrations. has this one. Yeah.
There's a really cute
There is.
illustration of them in the tent.
Fort, yeah. Also, one actually really fun fact about this book and the show is that in this book, there is a field guide that Cassandra writes about poison ivy and other herbs you'd find in the forest. And in Rapunzel Day 1, she stops her from walking into poison ivy. And we knew that because we read this book. And but when they did that, it was really cute. There they are. Oh yeah, my first year as a princess. We never got that one, I don't think.
No.
We have the friendship mix up. We have the They used to release these little books that were basically kids kids
novelizations of the episodes.
Yeah. So we have, which one is that?
Under Wraps.
Under Wraps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got the Under Wraps one and we read it. And then I think we actually read it before the episode came out because that was when the show was airing, the episodes could be months apart from each other. So we bought the book and read the book and then saw the episode months later. Being with this show in live time was a very hard journey because you never knew when they would come back. There she is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also weird thinking about what the show went out of its way to promote so heavily and what they gave up on. Remember how intensely Queen for a Day was
it's bookmarked. I'm so
was marketed.
Yes. So if you go on the Disney store and look up Tangled the series, the only 2 items available as of yesterday, unless I did something wrong, are Before Ever After and Queen for a Day DVDs.
You're what? Who cares? Who cares about Queen for a Day?
This is our favorite, hence the bookmark. But because I didn't see the bookmark, I apparently missed it. But see, look at the
That's so cute.
Look at the gazing happening here. Just gonna keep that. Yep. There. Yep. Don't look at my friend like that, folks. But do I look at my fiance like that? Absolutely. Look at that face. Yes, indeed. One time, Cass and I decided to hike to the falls. But before we could make it there, it started to rain. So we stopped up and whipped up a shelter and a snap. They just put Eugene in here. Eugene's not actually in the paragraph. The paragraph is about just the 2 of them, but they added Eugene because fellas, this without Eugene is a little much. So they added Eugene. See, no Eugene? Add Eugene. No Eugene? Add Eugene. But in the paragraph, there is no Eugene. I'm trying to find the field guide, but keep the bookmark in there. But yeah, no, they released these beautiful books with all this gorgeous art. Oh, Fencing with Cassandra is also a great part. Fencing with Cassandra. Who's Eugene?
Mm.
What was his a third name? Was it
Oh, what was that?
Horace, right? Was what Edmund wanted to name him was Horace. And he was great. Love that. Yeah, see, there's he can learn how to sword fight. I hope that when I was little, I was already wanting to do this, but I didn't have Cass. But I was already pretending to do that. Let's see. Here's some cute. So much Horace. Yes, Eugene is the hetero filter. Gals touching each other's shoulders. Yep. Mm-hmm. Here's a cute, if you want to see some cute, Cass and Eugene actually caring about each other. That's cute.
Yeah.
I do like when they get along. Have you heard the theories of how some people were thinking that they might be related?
Yeah, and I kind of wish they had been.
Yeah.
I would have I thought that.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been cool if they had ended up being
cute.
Siblings.
This is cute. That's really, really cute. Also great photo shoot ideas too. If you're ever if you want to redraw, these are great references if you want to practice drawing in the style or yeah. I always thought that Cass was going to be Edmund's daughter, and that like it was either going to be like, oh, there was another sibling, or like, oh, I thought I had a son because I'm a king, but it was actually a girl. And then Cass would, take the Moonstone because it was her like royal birthright to like that was her destiny. So it'd be less of like a betrayal. I own your destiny, Rapunzel betrayal, and more of like a protection thing, because as we know, technically, if Rapunzel had touched the Moonstone that day, she would have exploded,
which is just plot convenience.
But my theory that I had was she would take the Moonstone to protect Rapunzel, knowing that it was like her right as like the princess of the Dark Kingdom. Like, I thought that would just be really sweet, because it would be like, I am your sworn protector, and I have to do this, even if it means that now we can't be together. Mm-hmm. Because now it's like, oh, now I can't even touch you. Like the emotional charge of that, I think would have been really cool, especially if her and Eugene had been like Dark Kingdom siblings, that would have been really cool.
Yeah, that would have been really sweet.
Or not, but I think that would have been cool, because the whole like the classic twist of like, oh, a king needs a son, but then, oh, hey, there was a girl, which is Cass's like life. It's like, I'm going to be captain when I'm a girl, and they didn't drive that. I mean, they drove that pretty hard with the handmaiden thing, but it would have been interesting to see her talk about that. I couldn't find the poison ivy thing.
This book just makes me sad. I don't like looking at it. Man, it really
hey, braiding.
Me.
Oh my God, there was a braiding thing in here. I was trying to braid your hair, and there it is. French braid. Oh, I'm not doing that. There we go. How to braid. Oh, cute. It's cute. Yeah. Okay, well, am I crazy?
No, there was.
Yep. It's a sleepy day. They just had to play chess.
That's cute. I'm surprised there isn't like a friendship bracelet thing like in there.
Yeah, there's just like cat's cradle.
Yeah. Like how to make your own friendship bracelet.
Yay. Types of swords.
That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Remember at the Ren Fair when you lost your
Lagoon bracelet?
Yeah, but you lost your coins. So we were looking for your coins. But then I found your Lagoon bracelet because you dropped it and you didn't realize.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is the guide. Yeah, so at the Ren Fair, I dropped all my satchel of coins, and I had put them, I don't know how it came out.
Fell out.
Yeah, they fell out. So all my coins to do the archery contest fell out of my satchel. Okay. So I went to find them, and then
so we split up to go find all the coins. We split up.
And then
I came back with 2 of your coins and your bracelet.
Yeah.
Your bracelet came off too.
Yeah, my Lagoon bracelet had fallen off, and it was with the coins, and it was like, oh my God, like, Yeah, my Lagoon bracelet had fallen off, and it was with the coins, and it was like, oh my God, like, Dark Princess Cass, best worst case on. I think I actually have read some of their stuff about the Dark Princess Cass. I think, yeah, because that sounds familiar. Yeah, they're all very cool theories. That would have been great. And I mean, I'm sure they talked about it. Here's my favorite picture in the whole book. It's Cass with a hat. Here she is. And her satchel and her boots. She's talking about comfortable shoes. Yeah, that's the cutest picture of Cass right there. So stinking cute. But yeah, this book is
sad. Happy?
Sometimes you just gotta blow up Corona.
Mm-hmm.
Except, no, you never have to do that. But she's so fancy. She's so fancy.
She has a
She
hat.
has a hat. She has a hat.
If you have a hat, you're fancy.
Yes, she has a big hat with a big feather.
Yeah, remember Will Turner's big hat, his big feather at the end
Yeah,
of Pirates?
this is actually Cass's
Will Turner
proposal outfit. Yeah, when Will Turner like gets all fancy to propose. Yeah, that's actually what she's like. Okay, I'm gonna go propose to Rapunzel, but I'm wearing my big hat. Yeah, it's cute in her boots. Cass been off with that outfit. Yeah, I mean, I can see, after, post season 3 when she's doing her thing, I feel like she would don a big hat.
when she finds Elsa.
I mean, yes. Yeah, I feel like I definitely pestered about giving Cass a hat, but woo! All right.
So do you think we're ever going to get any Tangled material ever again?
Ever again?
Mm-hmm. I mean, aside from like 20 years from now when they do like the dumb live action Tangled.
Yeah, right? Do I think there will ever be any Tangled anything ever again?
I think there will be a short.
Really?
Like 5 years from now, maybe.
I don't know.
But I think if there is, it's going to be completely out of the team's hands who did the series. So it won't have anything to do with the series. So there'll be no Cass, there'll be no Lance, there'll be no Angry and Red, whatever the names are. I think it would just be like a slice of life Queen, like Rapunzel and Eugene thing. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And that's like if I don't actually like believe, but I think if there was, that would be it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have any of the blankie.
My body's too stiff. I can't read that far.
They should pull a Maleficent and remake Tangled, but with Cass in it.
That'd be great.
Yeah, thank you. Yay. Oh.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Oops, I'm sorry. That was your bodice. Okay. I don't know. I don't think they will, just because I feel like once Disney kind of stops paying attention to something, they stop.
Mm-hmm.
I would really love to see Cass get more in regards to like Disney content, but I also don't know what the rights are between Disney Animation and the studio.
Yeah. So that's why I think if there is something Tangled, it would be a short and it would legally not have any thing to do with the series.
Because I don't know. Yeah, that's all the fine print that I don't know, understand. But
yeah, no one's privy to that.
Ideally, I would like a short, or I think a Cass spinoff is asking for too much.
Yeah, and I don't think there's enough like with their character. I mean, there is, but not from a marketable standpoint of like 8-year-olds, because it's not like the princess thing.
Yeah,
and
Disney is weird. Yeah,
if it's not a princess, it doesn't sell. So.
Yeah, so it's tough because obviously we would all love to see a Cass spinoff, but I think Disney studios be like, nope, no princess. Like,
yeah.
Okay, cool. And then if you want to like actually make a Disney princess, you have to like swear her into the book of Disney. So yeah, but ideally, I would love to see a new wedding with Cass there. I would love that.
What does I can't read?
I know Chris Sonnenberg is interested in more content, but it depends on Disney. Disney's being cowards. We can dream. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
it was kind of a struggle between the Disney Channel and Cassandra's lesbian adventures. When? Right now. Ready?
Yeah, that's when we finally actually get the Frozen Tangled
crossover. Who's that in the forest?
Yeah.
I'm guarding the enchanted forest.
What?
Oh my god, who are you? Yep.
Your brain triggers me. I have to go.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Yeah. If Disney finds out there's actual interest in Cass, they would do it.
I think they know that there's interest in Cass, but again, it's like Disney isn't about like the small money. They're about the big money.
Small money.
And
The little
Cass is small money. She's not big money.
She should be big money.
She should be, but
Well, she is big money to everyone that, watches the show.
yeah.
She's so important, but sadly Disney,
But she's not
she's not a princess with a prince.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
she's
sadly.
not the audience who's gonna be selling.
Yeah, and that's annoying because a lot of times Disney doesn't take into account that
They have an older audience.
that they have an older audience, perhaps like older teen into college and beyond level. They aren't interested in that. They're interested in kids selling toys, which is not alone with just Disney, but a lot of shows succumb to that.
Yeah,
and
I mean anything right now that you look at on Netflix is like animation. It's like it's all geared toward kids, and kids are the ones making it succeed.
Yeah,
but
do we enjoy it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
it's not who's creating the discussion online.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So.
it's funny. They aren't looking at that, which is interesting.
Yeah, there's definitely there's a huge like disconnect between that and
and what they want to do.
yeah.
Ideally, yes, I would love to see an animated short of the wedding with Cass and Lance there.
Yeah.
That is what I would want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like that I think could happen right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dream a little dream. But maybe we'll get like a tiny Easter egg and some like frozen cereal.
Oh, Cass is there.
Yeah, maybe we'll get, another Rapunzel. Maybe we'll get little Cass.
Mm-hmm.
Little Pascal.
Mhm.
Make it something.
Ideally, I would just want Rapunzel Day 1, but as a full movie. Including a I See the Light version with the two of them. That would be great. I would love that. Or like, the books that they're releasing, like
the Anna and Elsa.
yeah, like what if Anna and Elsa never knew each other?
And
It's called
related.
the Twisted Disney Tales. It's like they're doing a series of like, what if this was the same except this didn't happen? So like the last one was what if like Anna and Elsa weren't sisters? Would it still be the same? So like they could do a twisted tale, but with what if Cassandra rescued her from the tower instead of Eugene? What if it had been Cass? So like I can see a possible thing to do, which could happen, would be a twisted Disney book. So someone needs to remind Disney execs that young adults are the ones who have the money. Right?
Seriously.
Yeah, I know.
I'm the one paying to go into that park and spend $300 on merch.
Yeah, exactly. It's
on
like
all the tiny Baymax
yeah, right.
pins and
It's like the
nonsense.
6-year-olds aren't like, I don't understand how they figure out how the viewers are like 7 years old when like it's all the people like, like 13 to 30, who are the ones like, okay, I got a job and now I'm going to spend all my money on all this Tangled content because I'm going to buy it.
Especially
So-
now, it's like the teens now aren't growing up with like the Disney shame that I think our generation grew up with.
Yeah, I had Disney shame.
Yeah, I like, when we were growing up, there was definitely, you hit that point when you were growing up that you didn't want to admit you still liked Disney and you were ashamed of liking Disney, and you went through
It's
a
like
period
the end of the Renaissance.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you went through that period of time, like not seeing Disney movies in theaters because you were ashamed, and that's really sad to think about because and that lasted for like 3 or 4 years for me.
Yeah, I think mine. Yeah, because I see Tangled theaters or did I have Disney shame?
I didn't see it in theaters. I had Disney shame.
I don't remember. I do not remember if I saw it. But then what matters is that when they did Dream Big Princess, we went and saw it.
Yeah, we got to see it in theaters.
Yeah, we got to see it together, and it was a couple years ago, and we were the only 2 people in the entire theater.
Yeah, and we were like at a theater in like the Boston Commons.
Yeah, we were
theater.
at the giant Boston theater, and we were the only 2 people. And I mean, granted, it was like a Tuesday at 11 a.m. or something,
Yeah.
you know, like during school, whatever. But
We got to see
I
it
couldn't
in the
believe it
theater.
really like too. Yeah, and so we cried and cried. I couldn't even see the screen. I was crying so hard. I was like, eh. And that was in the fall of 2017. So like the series was going on,
Mhm.
like Cass was in full swing, and we were like, yeah.
I would love if they did like a graphic novel of that, of the Lost Lagoon. Like that would be great.
Yeah, in the style of the TTS comic. Yes, absolutely. I would love, God, if they did, I think I would.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
really
it'd be
awesome.
powerful. I mean, the book itself, it has so many beautiful images.
Mhm.
I feel like I would love to see more artists drawing
yeah.
scenes. Yeah, drawing fan art. I would love to see, like, you know, I know that there is a Cassandra week in the works, and like a Cass appreciation week in the works as well. And I would love for one of the themes to be the Lost Lagoon, just so we could have kind of a, you know, a collective appreciation
Yeah.
of fan art of these gorgeous scenes.
An influx of it would be
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, like the bracelets and, you know, them, like the eye contact and the hands and the touches and the crying and the blackberry buns and the
Mhm.
images that are so poignant in the book. Would be really nice to see. You know, I think a lot of people do love the book, which is great too. So, but I would just love to see more art of it. I know that when I draw them, I always try to make the bracelets visible, at least for the most part. And like when we do cosplay them, like we wear the bracelets, and it's nice when, you know, like one person says something.
Yeah, half a person asked.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cass Appreciation Week is every week. That is accurate. That has been my life for 3 years. But I think there is some like specific like prompt one. But yeah, you know, it's like, yeah, every day. Every day.
Making today a perfect day for you.
It's your birthday.
Try a banana hippie app.
Yeah. It's Rapunzel's birthday. I think that's so cool. Sing happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
Rapunzel.
Miss Rapunzel.
Happy birthday.
How old is she?
Dear
She's
princess. Queen.
20,
I think she would be
21.
21 now.
Woohoo!
All right. Rapunzel's 21. Rapunzel's 21.
Rapunzel's 21.
Rapunzel's 21. Which means Cass is 25. 6, 5.
yeah.
Wait. What does she say? I'm 3 years older than her, or I'm 4 years?
She's 23 in season 2.
She is. Yes,
Yeah.
correct. We got no lanterns. We have no lanterns. All right, time to set the bed on fire. Rapunzel,
Okay.
here we go. That's the alternative. Just
Die. Violet.
Does that mean I should sing I See the Light to You?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 4 years older than her. Thank you. Okay, 4 years. So she was 19, 23. Okay, cool. So she was 21 to 25. 25. Yay!
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. With the math. But yet they retconned Eugene's age.
Yeah, Eugene got what's it? It's called Sorast when you're aged up. So what's like the opposite of Sorast?
Sore-assed.
Sorast. So
Sorast.
it's a rapid soap opera aging syndrome.
Oh.
It's like when a character is like born like yesterday, but they have to speed up the storyline. So like suddenly like the character's like 5 years old.
Ah, yes. So Eugene was 27 or 26?
26 originally, and they
Yeah.
de-Sorast him.
Yeah, they made him
24 in the series.
24.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, like...
I'd like to think they actually just forgot his
Yeah.
age, and it wasn't like an active decision to like de-age him, because that
Yeah.
seems really dumb.
Yeah. I would hope it was just like, he's this old. Oh, wait. Whoops. Oh, too late. Okay.
Oh well. No one's watching the series anyway. He's like who's obsessed with the
We'll
movie.
make Cass younger to give the Rapunzel some healthy competition. Yeah. Arson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how Rapunzel celebrates her birthday.
What?
Arson.
What?
Anyway, so we are reaching
Anyway.
the 2-hour mark.
Yes,
so.
we are reaching the 2-hour mark, and we have finished the book like an
Yeah.
hour ago. So,
So thank you all so much for coming to our little live stream. Oh, feet.
feet. Oh, she's
Don't
got
look at my feet. Yeah. Thank you so much. We are so happy that this worked out and that people were enjoying this. And
Yes.
we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had so much fun, and this was something that we kind of thought on a whim.
Yeah. So
When we were like looking at the bookshelf.
yeah, we didn't really think it would come into any sort of reality. So thank you guys for helping make it a reality. And we'll let you guys know.
when we're doing
Yeah.
the Vanishing Lagoon Village. The Vanishing Lagoon. the
Vanishing.
the Lost Village. I can't.
Wait, Vanishing Village. Whatever this is called.
The Lost Village. Yes. Okay. Midsommar, the series.
It's more.
And Rapunzel and Midsommar. Yeah. So we'll let you guys know. Thank you so much. It's made us really happy.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And, yeah.
So
we'll
take
see you
care
then.
and stay safe.
And happy birthday, Raps!
Woo!
Yay!
Party! Party time!